What else goes in mac and cheese? Think. Think. Probiotic, no. 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 What else? Hi, welcome to Cameron's Kitchen. You're my friend's kitchen. On today's episode, we're going to be making mac and Takis, or as my evil producer would say, mac and Takis. When he was a wee little child with his brothers, he made this as a joke, and I have no idea what I'm getting into today, but I'm excited, I'm scared, but we're going to take you along for the ride. And when I say my producer was a wee child, he was in college, so basically a child. So what you'll need is you'll need a box of mac and cheese from Aldi, some milk, also from Aldi, some butter, also from Aldi, and I have no idea where the you bought some Takis, but I'm assuming it's also Aldi. So, but one of the first things that Mark and I ever bonded over was the fact that when we make mac and cheese, my wife and I would put like some sort of chip in it, and I used to put Takis in mine, and he was like, no shit. I used to do the same thing, but I made it a little differently. And so he'd always tell me about his mac and Takis story. And so we're going to make that today. It's going to be diabolical. It's going to be vile. And it's going to be absolutely disgusting. So let's give it a shot. So first thing you're going to need is a magic bullet. So this is the only way to crush Takis in a good manner. So go ahead and, Jesus Christ, go ahead and plug this in. And then we're going to go ahead and open our Takis. So red 40, knew it. Look at that. You probably can't even see it. All right, we're just gonna eyeball this. I have no idea how much to do, so we're just gonna eyeball it. All right, now we're just gonna crush them up. Okay, almost there. What you want it to look like is this. That's basically just, oh, Jesus Christ, there's still chunks in here. One sec. All right, first we'll need to grab a pot. No. It's worth it for the bit. All right, next you're gonna wanna fill this with at least 6 cups of water. I never listen to that though. So we're gonna fill it up until when we think we need to be good with it. Why the now it's standing up. All right, now that we've filled this up with at least 6 cups of water, we're gonna go ahead and bring it over here. We're gonna start the boiling process. So always wanna put it on high when you're boiling water. Now I don't know if that's actually accurate or not, but that's at least what I do. So take it from me, professional chef. So now we're gonna basically watch paint dry while this goes on. So let's get going. All right, now that the water's boiling, we're gonna go ahead and take out part of this cheese sauce. We're gonna dump this in. So this takes.
See the box I held the tripod on.
I want to be clear. God. I want to be clear. My cameraman, producer Mark, he had to sit there and watch the water boil. So he actively watched paint dry, essentially. Okay, so 7 to 10 minutes for this cheese club. Let's do 8 minutes. And that actually is perfect timing because I'm going to go over here and grab a spoon. And so I'm just going to start spinning it around. I'm going to take these away because these are actually pretty hot. And that's not just me saying that Takis are hot. Like, they were actually right next to the heat source, so it's probably not good for them to hang out right there. So we're going to go ahead and just watch this boil some more for 8 minutes, and then we'll catch you on the flip side. Oh, fuck! So we're going to come over here and start spreading. So yeah, I just want to come over here and stir. It's good. Now we have 5 minutes and 59 seconds to just kind of wait and watch. Mind Freak! Chris Angel Mind Freak.
Oh.
My God, were my cousins really into Chris Angel Mind Freak.
All right, tell us a story.
So this is a perfect time for a story. So similar to the last video where we were kind of hanging out at like and play racquetball. This racquetball place that we go to has a pretty tall climbing, like rock climbing thing. So it's pretty cool, kind of scary to kind of get up it. And we actually have video and not video, but we have photo proof of us kind of going up this that Mark can add and edit into this video. But it's probably about like 40 feet tall max, maybe even shorter than that. But when you get up there, I swear to God, it feels a lot higher. And you have to like really trust this mechanism to bring you down. So Mark and I are climbing it. And we're going on one at a time, and we're probably going on like the easiest side. But to me, I got kind of scared. I got probably halfway through. I'm like, I don't really want to go up this. Well, this little like 13-year-old girl starts talking shit to us. Well, watch how quick I go up this. And Mark and I are just like, all right, whatever, like do your thing. So something about, pause the story. That was about to boil over. I just blew on that, and then it stopped all the bubbles. So that's a good trick for next time. All right, resume the story. Mark and I are just like waiting there. We were like taking off our harnesses, and this little girl just monkey climbs all the way up to the top, and then just jumps right off. Like lets the mechanism like come down. And she comes over here and starts bullying us. She's saying, "You just got beat by a girl. You just did all this stuff." This is not the last time we saw her at this place, actually. Mark and I were playing pool because they had pool tables there, and Mark's kicking my ass per usual. And she comes over and she starts just talking to us while we're playing pool. And she's just kind of meandering around, like going group to group and just talking to everyone. And I don't know why that's the thing, but that's what she's doing. And it's weird. And we've only ever seen her at that rec center, specifically out in that area, just talking mad to everyone. So I guess it's a story. I don't know how you're going to animate that, but good luck. All right, so you're going to want to drain it. And I've already done that off camera, so you don't have to be bored by that detail. So now that all of the mac and cheese is drained, look at that. All right, let's go over here. Now let's turn off the heat. And next thing we want to do, dude, what the disgusting piece of shit. We're going to want 1/4 cup of 2% milk and 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. So we're going to go ahead and do 1/4 cup of milk. Dude, I can't even open this fridge the whole way because you're chewing.
It was so blurry.
That's 1/4 cup. You can go ahead and just pour that in. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to need 1/4 cup of butter. Okay, that's 1/3 cup. All the way up. I'm just going to do it right on the counter. So, right there. We're going to want to cut it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Now that we've got that done, go ahead and plop this bad boy in. All right. So now is the fun part that makes this mac and Takis. So we're going to take the cheese. And we're going to dump it straight in. Bro, look at that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and dump the cheese in. And now the creme de la creme, which is the Takis. All right. Jesus Christ. Gross. Now just go ahead and dump it in. All right. And then now we just stir it. So I'm going to place it back over the heat just to make sure everything kind of melts a little bit. Oh, God. Dude, we might need more milk. God. Yeah, we need more milk. Jesus Christ. All right. We're throwing in an audible, and we're throwing in a little bit more milk because this does not mix because there's so much powder in here. All right, turn the heat back on a little bit. Jesus. This actually smells kind of good. All right, I'm adding a little bit more milk in here. That butter, once that melts too, it's going to be really good in there. But so if you're watching from home and you're trying to recreate this, which I don't think anyone who's going to be watching this is, just kind of eyeball it. The best part about cooking is that it's all with the heart, and you get to kind of do what you want to do. And this is certainly a decision that Eva producer and his brother has done, and we get to reap the benefits of it. So we're going to keep going. Shout out to you, Matt, for the idea in the last video, because if it weren't for that, we probably wouldn't be doing this right now, but I'm sure that it would come up eventually. So I really appreciate you letting us kind of torture ourselves a little bit. I have no idea if this is what the texture is supposed to look like, by the way. This looks fucking awful. I think I might add a little bit more milk because that is just all chunks. Add a little bit more milk, which is not helping. This is just glue at this point. All right, guys, time to go ahead and have our mac and Takis. It's going to be so good. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and plop that in. All right, now it's time for the taste test. So this is producer Mark's, and this is mine. So I'm going to go ahead and try mine first. All right, get a big old bite of this with all elements. So we'll get this with... Try to get this with a Taki. All right, cheers. That's a 4. That's a 4.
Could be worse, actually.
It could be. All right, we're gonna start doing decimals. That's a 4.5.
4.5.
All right, time for Marks. All right. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
They shoved it all the way back at the rope. Just down the back of my throat with it.
I'm sorry. Okay. That's not staying in.
That's staying in. That's a 3. How do you feel after that? Aftermath.
I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty bad experience. We'll keep making like this because it's funny, but God, that was rough. So thank you, Matt, for your idea. But God.